Nature does not abhor a vacuum. Nature celebrates a vacuum. Within the atom, there is primarily space. Between the proton, neutron, and the electron, it's primarily space. And within that space, there is immense potential, immense energy. And within space itself, outer space, we have a vacuum. And within that vacuum, there are particles, there are atoms. It's not a perfect vacuum, but there is immense energy. The charged particles, the solar wind, the energy emanating from the sun. And so within these spaces that we perceive as empty, they're actually quite filled, but not what we think it is, not with just material, not the way we conceive of it, not in a Newtonian sense. Within these spaces is raw energy, raw potential. Within the void, power. Within the vacuum, power. Within the space, power. But we have to create the space. Or should I say, we have to make space for ourselves to enter space. And within that space that we've created, we can't fill it, especially not with what we've been filling it with. We have to do something different. We have to create a different action, choose something that we haven't chosen in this space before. And then we begin to potentiate the vacuum, the void, the space. Again, within that place of space, there is immense energy, immense potential. When you take space for yourself, when you enter space, you begin to approximate or connect with the deeper parts of yourself. And you get closer and closer and closer to your unique expression as a soul, as a human being. But the challenge that we face is not just filling it, not getting ahead of ourselves, not trying to bend time by doing more. How often is that the case? We have time, we end up just burning it, doing the same activities, doing the same things. Review your life. Look how you've been spending your time. This is not a criticism, just an observation. Do you tend to fill your time with the same things? Is there something that you've been wanting to do? This soul urging, this burning inside of you, something that you want to be doing, but aren't. You have to make time and enter space to do that. It's funny, tonight I'm creating space, which is why I'm sharing a video about space, about the vacuum. Tonight, I'm creating space. Normally, I'd be watching a basketball game, Game 7 of the playoffs. I loved it as a child. Still do as an adult. But there's something bigger that I want to connect with, something more important. It's not to diminish the joys of life or play. Play is very important. But I brought myself into it. It was a rousing, exciting game. But I'd rather be here, in the vacuum, in the space, tapping into my potential, sharing it. The words are actually secondary to what it is I want to share. It's the space. The space we enter that is alive and excited. We tap into the raw potential of our atoms, where everything vibrates and hums and comes alive. That's the space. That's a space of immense creativity, a space of immense life, a space of immense joy, a space where we are so fulfilled that we're not trying to fill it with anything that can never fully take us there. This is a space where you commune with the universe, with God, with your soul, with the creative flow of life. This is a place where you self-discover, where you find yourself. Nature does not abhor a vacuum. In our nature is not to abhor a vacuum either. It's to maximize it. It's to tap into it. It's to enter into that raw potential and become what we've always known we could become and who we ultimately are. So I want to thank you for taking space with me and entering into the vacuum, the void, which is anything but empty, but is not filled with what we think it is. There was an artist I was following recently, Yves Klein, a famous artist of the 1950s, 1960s. And he had an exhibit which was the void. And in the void, he painted a room white. He had an empty cabinet in one of the corners. And he had built this buzz, and people paid good money to go into the void. And he transmitted this Klein blue, this beautiful color blue on the walls. And this famous philosopher at the time, Albert Camus, came into the space. And he said, after he left, essentially within the void, pure power. But Camus, he viewed the vacuum, he viewed the void differently. He saw himself as isolated and alone within the world, having to create a moral framework for himself. Whereas Klein, I have to say, I feel like he nailed it. He felt that the void or the vacuum was where the artist is at the center of creation, threaded and tethered at the nexus, fully tapped into that potential. So thank you for entering into that space with me. Thank you.